Okay, good morning. My name is Hilary Holmes. I'm a campaigner with Amnesty International Canada. I'll be making some brief introductory comments, introducing a number of speakers, and then we'll go to the usual questions and answers. Today, International Human Rights Day, should be an occasion to celebrate the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Instead, we are here to mark the 10th anniversary of a human rights violation, the arrest and detention of Mohamed Harket on a security certificate. As a removal procedure using secret evidence and closed proceedings, security certificates have been criticized by NGOs and experts, including the UN Committee Against Torture, as falling far short of international human rights standards. The Supreme Court of Canada also held that security certificates violated the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. The introduction of special advocates in a revised law in 2008 did not provide the remedy needed. Governments have not only the right, but the responsibility to respond to concerns about attacks and threats and protect their citizens, but not at any cost. Amnesty International calls on the Government of Canada to drop the current security certificate regime and replace it with one that conforms with international human rights standards. To mark the 10th anniversary of Mohamed Harket's arrest and Human Rights Day, events took place yesterday and continue to take place today in Halifax, Montreal, Ottawa, Regina, Saskatoon, Calgary, and Vancouver. Canadians across the country will continue to call for justice until the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act is genuinely reformed.
Thank you, Hilary. It's a great honor to be here today with Amnesty International for International Human Rights Day and to join in the call for the end of the use of security certificates. They violate virtually every precept of our system of laws and human rights. Going back to Magna Carta, this goes back a long way, that a person has a right to know what they're charged, that they have the right to have legal counsel, that they have a right to fair trials. And with the political excuse that the threat of terrorism allows us to drop all our norms, forget about human rights, and that anything, including torture, is permissible in an era where terrorism can be whispered, I think it's really important to stand firmly that the Charter of Rights and Freedoms is non-negotiable and security certificates are offensive. C'est aujourd'hui la journée pour la protection des droits humains, et pour moi un grand honneur d'être ici pour joindre avec tout le monde ici, pour appuyer Mohamed Harket et sa famille dans leur lutte. Mohamed Harket has put up with a great deal of uncertainty. His family's been enormously brave, and I'm very, very proud to join with them and my other colleagues here today.
Hello, my name is Gabrielle. I'm Sophie and Mo's niece. I was 3 years old when my uncle was arrested. I remember going to demonstrations and visiting my uncle in jail, but not understanding why. I also remember that in grade 5, I was learning about the Canadian Charter of Human Rights and asked why my uncle was being so treated so differently. I sometimes wonder what my family's life would be if this didn't happen. Would I have cousins and be able to babysit them? Would my Uncle Mo finally have his own business? Would my Aunt Sophie have so many health problems? But then again, life has been interesting. After all, not many kids can say that they have gone shopping for school supplies while being followed by CPSA agents, or having their uncle tied up to an extension cord just so he can recharge the GPS on his ankle, or not being able to show their uncle a funny video on YouTube, or that they have attended a superior court hearing. I have heard many things about my uncle, but the only Mo I know cares about his family, is always there to help his neighbors, likes to cheer me on when I'm playing hockey, and likes to do simple things like going to garage sales, making pancakes, and playing card games. We like to go to movies or fishing together. I only have great memories. One in particular is when my Uncle Mo finally got able to leave home alone without special permission. The first person he thought of was me. So we went to La Rasakal and got some really good ice cream. Even if the past 10 years have been difficult on my family, there's one thing that is very clear to me. I know that my aunt and my uncle are my role models. I admire them because they support each other in any circumstances, and they continue to fight for their injustice. I hope that one day they can lead a normal life like any other Canadians, and that I become just as courageous as they are. Thank you.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Pierrette Brunette, je suis la mère de Sophie, donc la belle-mère de Mohamed. Il est très important, en cette occasion, j'aimerais profiter de cette occasion justement pour remercier toute l'équipe de partisans et de bénévoles ainsi que nos avocats, des personnes merveilleuses qui se dévouent à cette cause de façon inconditionnelle. Sans leur acharnement à défendre la justice et les droits humains, moi et Sophie ne pourraient garder l'espoir d'un avenir meilleur et l'ambition que justice sera rendue. Je garde confiance en la Cour suprême et je les remercie d'avoir accepté une fois de plus d'entendre la cause de Mohamed. Enfin, je félicite ma famille pour leur ténacité et leur sens de la justice. Un gros merci à Mohamed d'avoir fait de moi une meilleure personne humaine, plus ouverte et éveillée à la politique du Canada. Je demande à tous les Canadiens et Canadiennes de s'éveiller aux dangers de la loi sur le certificat de sécurité et de soutenir notre demande d'abolir cette loi injuste et inhumaine afin d'avoir un procès juste et équitable. Je vous souhaite un très joyeux temps des fêtes et je souhaite la paix à tous les peuples de la Terre. Merci.
This question is for Mohamed. On November 22nd, the Supreme Court said that they will hear appeals from your side as well as the other side of things here. First part of the question would be, how are you feeling about the announcement of these appeals? And the second part of the question would be, do you have any worries about the fact that the other side will have their chance to appeal as well?
The first one, it's you can see 10 years later in a place like Canada, you're still fighting for a right to defend yourself. And this process, not the first time it's in front of Supreme Court. It's end before, was before in 2006 and 2007, Supreme Court decided this process is unfair. So basically, I'm happy with Supreme Court accepted the case. At the same time, it's not you wait for, in this country, an open society, everybody have a right to wait that long time to defend yourself. At the same time, the process or security certificate regime not affect me. You see my family, it's affected. The government, the second question, the government appealing the process, it's said to see I don't have access to the whole evidence, and when the appeal court decided with me, they're still not happy with the court. They want to appeal, to drag the process and to let me suffer and let my family suffer. Well, the bar so high. I have a faith on the Supreme Court, and we see it before, and I hope this is the final stage for whole process, or at least to have a fair and open trial. Thank you.
That you'll be vindicated in the end.
I'm confident. When you see how many times we went to the court and the appeal court or Supreme Court decided against unfair. We're not asking for, every country have a right to have security for the nation, but I have a problem with when you have going to the court and they not let you to defend yourself right and prevent you to question the informant in my case, and even the judge himself, he doesn't have access for the informant and the special advocate. You will see there is a problem, and it's not me. I'm saying there is a problem. The Supreme Court decided in 2007 the process unfair. So basically, I can't defend myself. I don't have the case in front of me completely. So we're not asking for the country have a right to have security, to have a law to protect themselves. But at the same time, I have a right to have a fair and open trial to defend myself. You can't just like drag everybody and a same process and innocent people like me. My whole family destroyed.
Can you describe what it's like on a day-to-day basis for you underneath all the restrictions you have placed upon you?
For example, yesterday the CBSA, Canadian Border Service, already was parked from my house. See the life kind of life I living. So I went to my mother-in-law to visit her. Yesterday, the car behind me like following me everywhere. And I have no access to the internet. I have no access wearing a GPS. And my uncle, I can't leave the town. I can't have normal life like anybody else. And at the same time, the big problem I have, deportation, still hanging there. So, you know, a threat is still, if I lose the whole thing, so I'm going to get deported to a place where I torture or death.
Apparently Elizabeth has a question.
And when I hear Mohamed talk about what his life is like on a day-to-day basis, I think Canadians might want to know what this whole abuse of human rights costs us. To have people tailing Mohamed when he goes to visit his mother-in-law, and to have them keeping an eye on Gabrielle when she goes to buy ice cream. It'd be very interesting to know what this is all costing us. This is an abuse of human rights. It's an offense to the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. I agree with Mohamed. I put my faith in the Supreme Court of Canada. But this system is not only abusive, it had not occurred to me until he was speaking. I wonder what it's costing us.